Hello, everyone, and welcome to our 11th webinar. Today's topic will be on motivation. It's a key ingredient for us to tackle and achieve our daily goals and tasks. So think of motivation as the fuel that keeps us moving. There must have been some kind of motivation that drove you to get out of bed today, and just like us, our kiddos need motivation. So today we'll be focusing on ways to build and maintain that motivation through rewards. We'll also go over how to set up a motivation or reward system in your home. As always, all of these webinars are designed specifically for parents and caregivers of children with special needs or neurodevelopmental disabilities. We hope to offer any practical insights, any practical strategies, any tools that are a bit more tailored to your needs. To briefly introduce myself, my name is Stephanie Lee, and I'm a board certified behavior analyst or BCBA. I've been in the field since 2016, and I've worked primarily with children and teens with autism, ADHD, and other learning disabilities. So the strategies that I'll be sharing today come directly from my experiences working with families and students in both home and school settings. I do hope that today's session will offer and spark some new ideas, and I do hope to provide some valuable tools to bring into your daily lives. I also believe that motivation and reinforcers and reinforcement is such a simple yet powerful factor to progress. So let's begin. Agenda. On our agenda today, we'll be covering the following: the different types of rewards, identifying true motivators, practical tips for implementing reward systems. My goal today is to leave you with some strategies that you can start using right away. So I will avoid using any technical terms. I do want to present something that's easily digestible and something that you can start implementing right away. So let's open up our topic by introducing the different types of rewards. And as we go over the different types of rewards, it's super important to keep in mind that rewards work best when they're novel or special. It shouldn't be something that's easily accessible or given daily. We want it to be unique. So first in yellow, we have tangible rewards. These are physical items that a child can see, touch, or hold. So things like toys, stickers, collectible items, or even a favorite snack or drink. So these types of rewards can be super effective, especially for our younger ones who enjoy having something that they can directly engage with and that they need something immediate. So tangible rewards are obviously used for our younger ones. Next in green, we have activity-based rewards. These involve some fun or special activities that your child enjoys. Some examples can be like extra screen time on the phone or on your iPad, painting or coloring, drawing with chalk outside, playing video games, or going on an outing with family or friends. So these types of activity-based rewards can also be an excellent opportunity for bonding or some time to practice social skills or have quality time with friends and family. So in blue, next we have social rewards, and they focus on any social interactions. These are generally quite simple and easy. They're also free of cost, and a lot of us pair these social rewards with another type of reward as well. And examples include verbal praises like great job finishing your work or thank you for putting your toys away, some high fives, thumbs up, smiles, or even hugs. And again, these are super simple, super easy to deliver, yet powerful rewards to let your child know they're being appreciated and recognized for their efforts. And lastly, in red, we have token or visual rewards. These rewards are for older kiddos, and I'll discuss why in a little bit. These involve reward systems that allow earning points or tokens to accumulate or redeem something in exchange. So some examples are token boards, which I will discuss extensively in a few slides, sticker charts, reward jars, or even point systems. So these types of rewards open doors for so many different opportunities. They can visually see and track their progress They can even anticipate and look forward to a higher quality or quantity of a reward. Meanwhile, we're also teaching them skills like building tolerance, waiting, saving, and exchanging for a greater reward. And as for parents, we're also benefiting from this system since we're delaying the reward while making it super fun for everyone. So, for example, I had a client, let's name him Johnny, who had a tough time sitting down and finishing his homework. So, he was in the upper grade level in elementary school, and parents reached out. They wanted some strategies to make it easier for everyone since it was such a challenging battle every night. And at that time, Johnny was super into these collectible figurines. I forget which kind, which were quite pricey at that time, but parents were more than willing to find anything that would work. So initially, we provided one collectible figurine per night if Johnny was to complete his homework. And we definitely saw progress. It took a little bit of time, but we definitely saw progress. And eventually, Johnny actually looked forward to homework time at night. And within the next few weeks, we started seeing some independent on task behaviors as well. So eventually, after a couple of months, parents mentioned that they're running out of figurines to provide. Obviously, the price is stacking and adding up. So, very slowly and gradually, we transitioned into a reward system where eventually Johnny had to earn 5 tokens now to exchange for a figurine. They even set up something called Sunday Market Day, where they laid out different figurines and had Johnny exchange his tokens for a figurine of his choice. So, again, this can be super fun and beneficial in multiple ways. So now let's talk about identifying motivators. We want to make sure that the reward or the reinforcer is actually motivating to the child. It's really easy for us to just quickly assume that that reward that we establish is rewarding, but it actually might not. There are many, many times where parents are utilizing all these amazing strategies and techniques to teach a new skill or behavior, but they come across situations where they're not seeing too much progress. However, in cases like these, as soon as we find the right true motivator, everything else becomes much more easier. So there's two different points that I do want to address. So the first one, we want to observe your child's interest. We want to watch for engagement. What are they interacting with during their leisure time? How long are they engaged? Are they building blocks or Legos all day long? Are they sneaking into the bathroom to play with water whenever they get the chance? Just look for anything that they're engaging themselves with. Also look for patterns. Are there certain activities that they enjoy? Do they have a routine? Do they have some kind of structure in place? For example, when they play tag, do they always enjoy being it? Do they always play with the same dolls? Do they always choose a certain color or textured item or snack? Any patterns? And listen to their request. This might be super obvious, but if they're requesting something, they probably want it or like it. So if they're requesting for a break, use break as a reward. Finish coloring the first section, then you can have a break. If they're asking for playtime with mommy, then use that as a reward. Let's finish eating your meal and we can do puzzle together. If they're requesting for ice cream, great, establish that as a reward. First clean up your room, then you can have ice cream. Also notice their preferences for certain cartoons or books or colors. What kind of characters do they like? What kind of animals are they into? Do they have a favorite color? For example, I had a client who loved Cocomelon, and after we found out about it, now we were able to use Cocomelon stickers, Cocomelon dolls, Cocomelon screen time for their videos, and their songs as well. So it kind of opened up an entire new set of reinforcers and rewards. And lastly, notice their responses. Are they being excited when they're presented with these activities or these rewards? Are they approaching it? Are they walking away? We're kind of on an investigation. The second part I wanted to discuss is about offering choices to discover their preferences. We can start out by simply asking, what do you want to earn? Give them a chance to come up with what they want. We can also offer some choices of two things, and we want to keep it simple. This not only allows a sense of shared control, but we're also giving choices of what is available. Do you want to watch Blippi or Sesame Street? Do you want to earn chips or cookie? Would you like a blue sticker or the red sticker? Eventually, this is kind of like a forced choice because we're providing only two options of what's available, but it is something that can give them a sense of control. Eventually, when they have the skills, or if we have more things that are available, we can expand the choices from just two to something more extensive. Now we can give them a list from what they can choose from. We can even create a menu that includes pictures or icons of various things that they can choose. And lastly, I do want to go over some considerations. They might not be interested in the same thing every day, and a lot of parents are really surprised when their child loses interest in something they loved, but unfortunately, satiation does exist. Even for us, we have phases of jumping from one favorite hobby, favorite food, or interest to another. So I would be careful about providing too much of something. Consider rewards that are novel and unique. When I used to work with families at home, one of the most challenging skills to teach was toileting. And because this is so challenging, we had to set up something that's super high quality in a reward. So most of the time, I suggested using something that was novel or something they don't get every day. Next, we kind of went over this already, but they know what they want best. So just ask, never assume. We want to make sure we establish motivation correctly. And every child is different. So what works for one child may not work for another. So for example, just because your older child loves to draw or color and we use that as a reward for her, doesn't mean your younger one might love the same. And lastly, be mindful of how frequently you are providing the reward. I kind of mentioned this after a first point. Back to satiation, we don't want to have it lose its power. We can kind of avoid this by rotating on the different rewards or maybe even providing a variety of different options to provide as rewards. So let's start talking about some practical tips to implement reward systems at home. Obviously, with our very early learners, we do want to provide immediate rewards. You washed your hands? Great, here's a cookie. However, once they start learning the power of rewards, we want to gradually teach them these reward systems. And reward systems are great because, again, they delay the reward. You don't have to hand out 100 cookies a day. They also teach skills like tolerance, waiting, and saving too. Also, these are great ways to start teaching how the real world works. We work to get paid, same thing. They engage in a desired behavior, they can earn a token. So, with token boards, a child earns stickers, check marks, or tokens each time they demonstrate a desired behavior. And once they earn a designated number of tokens, they can exchange them for a preferred reward. Maybe you want them to complete a task like homework or washing hands or using the toilet to void or cleaning up. And every time they engage in this behavior successfully, you provide a token. And on this slide, that token board that I've created, I kind of use that for students at schools. So very clearly, I've created visuals of 5 different behavior expectations. And every single time the child engages in these behaviors, we provide a token. So eventually, these tokens can be exchanged for a break, extra Chromebook time, outdoor walks, and other like high fives or any other activities. So here is how to use a token board. So first, we want to designate a behavior or maybe several behaviors. We want to make it clear though, you want to teach them what they're going to earn a token for. You kind of lay out the expectations before you even begin using the token board. So in this example, let's pretend we're working on some independent dressing. So every time the child dresses himself, we're going to provide a token. Second, we establish a reward to deliver. Again, back to our previous slides, we need to make sure that the reward is motivating for this to be effective. We can simply ask them what they want to earn, or we can provide some choices, but we need to make sure that that reward is a true motivator and is motivating. Third, every time you observe the behavior, like independent dressing in this example, you provide a token. And I would also make it clear that you're providing a token for that behavior. So make it immediate. You don't want to provide a token an hour after they're finished dressing. As soon as they get dressed, I would provide some kind of verbal praise, like great job dressing all by yourself, or you did such a great job putting your shirt and pants on today. And then immediately I would deliver a token onto the token board. And lastly, once they earn all the tokens, we can now exchange that for a reward. And I really like this token board here that I found online because you can eventually see what they're earning too. It's almost like a visual reminder for them. Like, oh, I'm going to work hard because I really want that robot toy. Also, these tokens being filled in the boxes kind of allow them an opportunity to track their progress too. So we just talked about token boards. Once our child masters these token boards, now we can try something even more exciting. So this is a little bit more advanced. And these are called token economy, and they mimic the real world. A child earns stickers, tokens, stamps, tickets, or fake money each time they demonstrate desired behaviors to exchange for a reward of their choice. And obviously, with the token economy, we do want to provide a variety of different available rewards that we can provide to have them choose. And we want to make sure that they're different in quality. So this is just one way of using a token economy, and I think this might be practical for a lot of our parents. We create either some sort of treasure box or a market day and include some items to sell. So for example, we can include all the different items that the child enjoys, and we clearly inform them of all the different prices and the items that are available. And one thing to keep in mind is to label the prices to make sure that they know they're all differing in the prices, and be smart about the way that you come up with them. So here I have a teddy bear that's 15 tickets. I have a robot that's also 15 tickets. Meanwhile, I have a chocolate snack that's 5 tickets, something that's maybe lesser in quality. And I also have this bracelet that's 5 tickets, a book that's 10 tickets, and this could be all customizable and tailored to your child's preferences and interests too. I also wanted to introduce some other different reward systems because there are so many different reward systems you can put in place. And I've only introduced a few simple and practical ones today, but I do want to briefly go over other ways that you can try. So on Amazon, that's just a screenshot that I created. If you kind of look through Amazon or even just on the website or Google, you can find so many different reward charts and sticker charts that you can use. Maybe you can even choose one with your child and make the experience even more rewarding. You can also print out different ones from online as well, or even try these reward jars. Just get a empty jar, buy a bunch of ping pong balls or some coins or something, and reward them. So these are all great ideas to use. So kind of wrapping up our webinar today, today's topic was on motivation and rewards, but if you have any other questions or concerns that you'd like to consult with a professional, I'd like to introduce our VillageED team. And all of these webinars, all of these resources, they are provided by our VillageED program. Not only that, we do offer some exclusive benefits like expert guidance with IEPs, a comprehensive IEP checklist, a private community resource library, and on-demand support from specialists like speech pathologists, OTs, psychologists, and even BCBAs like myself. So if you are interested and if you have the time, please feel free to visit our website at villageed.org.